It was a last chance to voice their anger, but despite this protest, Russian lawmakers have voted to raise the retirement age by 5 years.
The United Russia and the president of the Russian president, they don't hear us, they just go further because they are rich people.
It's one thing to work 10 extra years at the State Duma, passing laws and moving papers on the desk, but it's another thing altogether when you are working at a factory or plant with hazardous production.
Over the last 3 months, thousands have marched against the proposals. President Putin's poll ratings crashed an unprecedented 13%, prompting him to address the nation.
It is indeed impossible to delay it even further. That would be irresponsible and could lead to grave consequences for the economy and society, negatively affecting the lives of millions of people because, and now it is already clear, the state will have to do it anyway sooner or later. But the later, the harsher those decisions would be.
Yet according to a national poll, 90% of Russians still oppose the reforms.
Big dissatisfaction, big criticism, and people, first of all, think that the reform is unfair. So it's not the bureaucrats who will pay, not oligarchs who will pay, just ordinary people.
The protests did not stop the bill. It has been a bruising reform for the government, but it will now come into force. They say it is the only way to balance the books and ensure sustainable pensions. But Russians will now want to see some of those economic benefits which have been promised to them. And according to research, their confidence is ebbing.
What the government needs to deliver is economic growth in general. It's what people want, and they are losing hope that the government is able to deliver this.
Russian men will now retire at 65, just a year earlier than their average life expectancy. But though they may be working longer, it is really the government that now has its work cut out. Ashby, CGTN, Moscow.